In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the work in progress balance changes for November. Remember, these are subject to change, so be sure to leave your feedback in the comments below and on social media where Supercell might see them. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys a teaser for the next evolution coming inside of Clash Royale, and it's very revealing, I have to say. It's pretty obvious what it's going to be just from the teaser. So let's get right into it. Probably should have recorded this earlier because I'm pretty exhausted, but I'm going to try to keep it together and then go to sleep right after this. So the Goblin Hut is getting a nerf. It's getting a spawn speed nerf. It's going from 1.9 to 2 seconds, 5% nerf. And their reasoning is the Gob Hut has been dominating across many deck types, pushing other buildings out of the meta as the ultimate control card. We're slowing down its Spear Goblin spawn rate to make sure it's less reliable on defense and open space for other building options to shine. Good reasoning, well-deserved nerf, I would say. Next up, guys, the Evolve Royal Ghost is getting a nerf. Pretty much no surprises here. So the actual ghouls or the soldiers that it spawns are getting a damage reduction. It's going from 261 to 130, a 50% reduction. They're just cutting it in half. Boo! Royal Ghost Evolution has been haunting the arena, and his soldiers were striking just as hard as he does. They're now going to deal damage equal to their spawn damage instead of matching the Royal Ghost full attack. I really like that nerf idea. Another nerf option they could have done is maybe just nerf the spawn damage that the ghosts had, but they decided to go this route, which I think is pretty good as well. Next up, guys, the Elixir Collector is getting a nerf. Now, this I don't know if I agree with, because this is already a well below average card. Maybe their reasoning will make sense. I don't really know, but I'm going to suggest maybe a potential nerf they could do instead. So the Elixir generation time is going from 12 seconds to 13 seconds, an 8% basically increase, and then the duration is going from 86 seconds to 93 seconds, an 8% increase. Because of the Three Musketeers rework and gradually increasing usage rate, we're nerfing Elixir Collector. Our goal is to make Three Musketeers not always reliant on Elixir Collector to be viable. Okay, well there you go. Three Musketeer rework. And by the way, that's actually what the teaser is, not evolution, by the way. I misspoke, I think, at the beginning, or I'm just tired. I don't know. But anyways, guys, very interesting nonetheless. Elixir Collector getting nerfed. That's definitely the most controversial out of every single change on this. The Phoenix, guys, is getting a buff. So the respawn Phoenix hit points is getting increased, going from 842 to 1,052, a 25% increase. And then the respawn Phoenix damage is also being increased by 25%, going from 174 to 217. Make more of a threat, consistent value with normal Phoenix, focus on rebirth ability, not stats. Okay, that's a really big buff to the Phoenix. I definitely think we're going to be seeing more of that, especially inside of Royal Giant, and maybe it'll be good inside of Golem and Lava Hound again. The Rascal Boy, guys, is getting a damage buff, going from 204 to 217. 6% buff. They don't even give a reason for it. I think they just assume everyone knows it sucks, apparently. And then the Spirit Empress Ground Form. So that's important to take note. Not the flying, the Ground Form, getting a hit points buff, going from 1,134 to 1,244. Again, no reasoning. They're just giving a 10% buff to it. They just assume people know the Rascal Boy and the Spirit Empress Ground Form sucks. So they're both getting a well-deserved buff, I would say. I don't know if anyone would complain with either one of those. And then, guys, the Evolve Goblin Drill. Wow, who'd have thought they're actually buffing the Evolve Goblin Drill? Finally, it's about time. Took long enough, right? So they're buffing the Goblin spawned on the first Submerge. It's going from 1 to 2. And the Evolve Goblin Drill has been underperforming compared to other evolutions, with the regular drill often proving more reliable. Yeah, no kidding. It's been that way for the past year now. It's a good thing they finally decided to give it a buff. To improve its offensive potential, we're reverting a previous nerf and bringing back the second goblin that spawns when the drill first submerges. We've also fixed a bug that causes goblin spawned after each submerge to be pushed onto crown towers. Okay, well-deserved buff. I think pretty much everyone would agree with that. The Little Prince Guardian is getting a damage buff, guys. It's going from 202 damage to 217. 7% buff. They didn't describe or explain why they gave it a buff. I think, again, people would just know that the Little Prince is the weakest champion among the others. So, again, another good buff. And then lastly, guys, the Golden Knight is getting a bug fix. So they're reducing the dash delay from pending state. That sounds very confusing, but it's going from 200 to 50. So they're fixing a bug with the Golden Knight where he would infinitely chase a troop walking away from him before he would initiate a dash, then pause for 200 milliseconds before dashing. If that troop walked out of the dash range, Golden Knight would keep chasing the troop. We're reducing the delay to 50 milliseconds, which would make him much more likely to dash to troops walking away. Don't know entirely what that means, and don't have the energy to try to figure out what that means, so you guys can try to figure that out. But I guess they're fixing a bug, so that's good. And there does appear to be more bugs with the Golden Knight compared to other champions, so I think that might be what it's referring to. So this, I guess, guys, is the Three Musketeer rework they were talking about for their reasoning inside of the balance changes for nerfing the Elixir Collector. Not sure why the Elixir Collector has to be nerfed just because the Three Musketeers are getting some adjustment, but I guess that's just kind of the way it is. So as you guys can see, it just looks like the Three Musketeers. One on the top seems to have a different hair color than the two on the bottom, which is very interesting. So yeah, I guess leave your guys' thoughts in the comments, what you guys think it's going to be. As far as I know, I think it already got leaked, because somehow everything always gets leaked, so I don't know, but we're not allowed to talk about the leaks. And what I want to talk about, guys, is this Reddit post, I think, goes along very well with the fact that we know now that the Elixir Collector is getting a nerf. What if the Elixir Collector boosted your passive Elixir regen instead of giving burst? So, hear me out. The Elixir Pump currently gives 8 Elixir over its lifetime if it's not damaged, releasing bursts of 1 Elixir every 12 seconds. It's iconic, but also outdated and clunky. What if instead of generating bursts, it increased your elixir regeneration rate for its entire duration? That way it would still provide around 8 elixir total, but in a smooth, consistent flow instead of awkward +1 ticks. So basically, the basic elixir regen is 1 every 2.8 seconds. With the pump active, regen could speed up by around 30%, meaning you get 1 every 2.1 seconds. Over 70 seconds, that equals roughly the same 8 elixir bonus, just delivered passively. Why this would be awesome: no more wasting elixir when you're full, feels smoother and more economic, less swingy than bursts, more skill-based, rewards long-term planning, not just timing the next elixir spike. Easier to balance, you could adjust the regen percentage or duration instead of making it a spell magnet. And this would modernize the pump into something that actually fits into Clash Royale's current pace. Rewarding investment, but without the swingy, bursty tempo shifts that would make it feel outdated. What do you guys think? Would this version be healthier for the game, or would it break elixir management completely? And some people were saying, okay, well, what if there's 2 or 3 down, and then diminishing returns? 1 pump gives 30% passive elixir generation, 2 pumps 45%, 3 pumps 52.5, and so on. So that's kind of interesting. I definitely agree that something like this is probably better than, in my opinion, just straight up nerfing the Elixir Collector just because of the fact that the Three Musketeers are getting a rework. So I don't know if I really agree with this at all, because the pump isn't only used with the Three Musketeers, it's also used with things like Golem. So I don't understand why they're making the pump suffer when it's already a below average card just because they're worried about the combination being too good with the Three Musketeers. I don't really know. Maybe I'm not understanding it, but a rework to the Elixir Collector, other than a straight up nerf, probably would have been a little better. But let me know what you guys think of these work in progress balance changes in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. You can use creator code BOSS to support me in any Supercell game. And thanks again until next time, guys.